Hi mathematicians, this is lesson 4-8. We're going to put these in your composition notebooks, please. And we are looking at dependent and independent variables. So a dependent variable, oops, I can spell today, is it changes based on another variable. So an example of that is on page 236. We have the amount of money taken in depends on the number of pounds. So the dependent variable is the amount of money. So money versus pounds. So this one is dependent. So independent variables it causes the change in the dependent variable. Okay, so I want you to, I guess I need to pull this back a little bit. So I want you to have these two vocabulary words down, and then we're going to do a little practice with this. So you have to ask yourself often, which one causes the other one to change? And when you know what that is, then you know that the dependent variable is the one that's moving, and the one that stays firm will be your independent variable. Okay, so you have to really think about the context, and that's our whole focus for today, is just understanding the difference between an independent and a dependent variable, and that will go into our graphs and tables later. So we're going to do a little practice together. So the number of hours spent studying, I think I can blow you up a little bit. The number of hours spent studying and the score on the test. So what do you think would be the, what changes? What is going to change on that one? So the number of hours is going to be our independent. And based off of the number of hours we spend studying, that will be the score on the test. So that's what could be changing. So the dependent. The length of a pencil and the number of times it's been sharpened. What depends on what? The number of times it's been sharpened, I would assume. These are terrible. Number 3, the length of a story in pages and the number of words in a story. So we're looking at the number of words is the independent, and that's going to cause the length of the story. Do you see that? So the thing that's going to stay steady is the number of words, and the length of the story will be dependent. All right, so we've done a couple of these, so I want you to think about the relationship. So number 4 is the number of students ahead of you in the lunch line and the time it takes you to get to lunch. So I want you to tell me what the independent variable is in Edpuzzle, and then we're going to move on to what the dependent. So we're going to pause here and you answer those 2 questions. All right, and so for this one, the independent variable is S. It's the number of students, and that's going to cause the time that you take to change. So if there's one person in front of me, it's going to be a short amount of time. If there's 20 people in front of me, it's going to extend my time. So let's do another one. The amount of time to finish a race and the number of laps around the track. Okay, we're going to pause here and you're going to answer what is the independent and what is the dependent. Okay, we're back. So the one that's going to depend on the other is the time. So the amount of time for the race is going to determine, it's going to change depending on the number of laps. Okay, so do you see how the context, you have to really think about what you're being asked? We're going to do one more. Tickets sold for a race and the amount of money collected. Okay, pause here and answer the independent and the dependent. And we're back. So for this one, the independent is the ticket sold, and the amount of money is going to depend on the amount of tickets that we sold.